Hi everyone, this is Kayla with Mahelani and Bat Creations here on YouTube. I am here to share my very first moon bullet journal with you all. So these first few clips that you'll see in just a little bit is just a quick time lapse of all of the things that all the pages and spreads that I created here in this first few pages of a setup, and you can kind of see how I did all the art, did all the little illustrations and hand lettering. I did lose a few clips, but I hope you are able to kind of see my methods, and I'm still definitely learning, so we'll see how this goes for the next moon cycle. But for now, enjoy this time lapse of my first few pages of this bullet journal, and stick around if you're interested in seeing a full walkthrough and an explanation of what I'll be doing with each page and each journaling prompt. So stay tuned. Thank you. Enjoy. Alright, so now that you've seen my process of how I created this sunshine, where did you go? Come back. I'm going to show the nice shine that this gets. I really like these metallic watercolors. They're really fun to play with. Alright, so before I give you a full walkthrough of what I finally put together, let me just get some of this. This is my Valor, a little essential oil. Rub it a little bit here. And let's put this back. Whew. Okay, now that we're all set there, I'm going to show you a little bit of what I was able to create. This is my first time trying out this style of bullet journaling, so yeah, let's see how this works. I just use this small traveler size notebook, and I'm already like about about halfway through this book, and this is just one moon cycle. But this was my way of trying to test out to see if this is actually something that I would really want to get into, and if it is, I'll definitely be willing to invest in a better quality, thicker paper, thicker notebook with more pages. I just didn't want to, spend all that money for something that I wasn't going to stick with, because I have tried bullet journaling before. I think I might have mentioned this maybe on Instagram on my IGTV, I think it was. I was talking about how I've tried bullet journaling before. Didn't really work out for me because of how particular I am. Like, you might be able to see some of this here. So these lines, this kind of stuff, it really got to me when something was not straight, something was out of place, and it just was a bit of a waste of time, honestly, rather than keeping me organized. But now I am gonna approach this as more of a journal, like an actual journal, not like a planner per se, but I wanted to get more into journaling and especially more connected with the natural cycles of the moon, and just seeing how I can incorporate more of that into my yoga practice, but also my personal reflections and all of that kind of stuff. So let's go through. I showed you just before the whole, well, most of the process. Some of the video clips got cut out. I wasn't able to get the time lapse on some of them, but you can see the final product now. So this is my front page. I just have 2020. So this is the year that I'm starting this lunar or moon bullet journal. Kayla, there's my name on all the moon phases here at the front. Opening up right here at the beginning, gotta have this journal belongs to, has my name, my Instagram, my phone number, and my first page right here. I did this watercolor kind of inspired by a scene out of Frozen 2. Those of you who know it might recognize that this was that scene in the when she was singing this song, Show Yourself, when all those lights kind of flash and she starts transforming. But this is the reason I used this was it's my 2020 phrase, I guess, or intention that I've set for myself of every moon cycle focusing on something in particular that will help me to be able to show more of myself, be more authentic, and be a little bit braver at, you know, showing what's actually happening inside my head, inside of my thought processes, all of that good stuff. So next page, let's see, we've got just a quote here. I felt like hand lettering something. I'm not a big fan of, you can see here the big difference between of how yellow this page is and how white this one is. So yeah, that's one thing I'll definitely look into when I'm picking, if I end up picking an actual bullet journal. Definitely I like the whiter pages, but it is kind of cool though to see the contrast when I do include papers like this. So this is my key, or something to help me remember what each little thing kind of means if I'm gonna do some lists in my journal. I probably won't do too much of this, but I wanted to have it just in case I decided to do that, since the planner that I actually use for my day-to-day planning is the Passion Planner, and it does really well. I kind of customized it myself to be able to put lists in there, but this might be a little bit easier to do like longer lists when I don't have space in that Passion Planner to be able to do that. So I just added a few things here, and I measured out all of the dimensions here. So I wanted to know, just for a quick reference, of where I needed to mark my lines for category or columns of 3, columns of 4, and then breaking the page up in, what did I do here? In half. Yeah, so right down the middle. Yeah, just for a nice quick reference, that way I'm not wasting my time every time counting squares, counting dots. Next page, we've got my moons of 2020. So this page shows all the full moons, the dates of the full moons, and their names. So if you want to take a closer look here, this is January, February, March. We're going now into April, which is the pink moon, and you'll see that later in my overview, my lunar overview, I guess. Usually it's a monthly overview, but yeah, my moon overview is going to be for this upcoming moon, which is the pink moon. Going through onto this page, I did a nice little watercolor moon. I'm going to try and turn this maybe into some kind of sticker or something. This would be really fun to be able to use to print out. I'm pretty proud of this watercolor moon. But this is just a overview of so the major moon phases. So the new moon, first quarter, full, third quarter, and it goes through all of them throughout the year 2020, and it shows you here the moon phase, the star sign that it's going through, and the date. So the 2nd of January was our first quarter moon. Turning over, I think I hear my cat trying to escape my RV. She's trying to come hang out with me. Anyway, I did this little watercolor page quote. This is actually our camera that I'm using right now to film, and I did this quote, collect moments, not things, because these next few pages are going to be my monthly like recap photo. So I can already put in January, February, March is coming to a close, but I had these spaces perfectly lined sized. You might have seen in that quick overview of how I did all of this, but I have one of those Polaroid photo printers that have those adhesive backings to it, so I'll be putting one photo in per month to kind of summarize, you know, maybe the highlight of that month or something like that, maybe a birthday or achievement. February was the first month that we started our full-time RV living, so I'm sure I'll find some kind of cool RV photo to put there. Yeah, so there's a space for every month, and I'm excited about this because I take a lot of pictures, but I am not very good at printing them or displaying them in any way. So now this will actually kind of pull in some kind of scrapbooking feel to my journal, my bullet journal, and this will be a cool way to kind of make a little keepsake out of 2020. So here I've got my goals page, and I broke it down into different categories because I have so many goals. I want to be able to keep them organized as well. So my own physical goals, that'll be anything like maybe my own yoga practice, how often I want to do that. Maybe I've actually been interested in running. I know, crazy, I want to swim again, but I don't know if that will be something easily accessible. But yeah, just those kind of physical goals. What do you want to do? What do you want to do to help nourish your body? This could actually also be nutrition, can go in here as well for me. Family goals, so maybe this will be a little bit more about our home, our RV, our tiny homes. Maybe our RV renovation goals can go here. Business goals for my own personal business, Mahalani and Back, but also Therefore We Go is kind of what we've been playing around with for our traveling adventure, that kind of family business. So there's going to be a little bit of ties in there. But financial goals, we've got some student debt still to pay off. We've got our new loan now for the RV. Just a bunch of stuff here to kind of crack down on, maybe a little bit of budgeting stuff. Spiritual and emotional, so this can be so many things, but for me, this will definitely... Oh, well, okay, my audio recording just stopped. I guess I'll have to use the camera audio. Oh well, I'll just continue. So spiritual and emotional, this can be maybe my meditation practice goals can go here. Anything relating to, you know, reading in the Bible, doing Bible studies, connect groups, that kind of stuff. Even connecting with friends, that can definitely go here as well. Intellectual goals is that last one. So I've been into reading a lot more, listening to podcasts. This kind of stuff will go into here, like maybe how many I want to do per week, how often I want to read, how often I want to do, all that kind of stuff. And bucket list, that's pretty self-explanatory. I'll just fill this all up with places, things I want to go, things I want to do, places I want to go. Next page. This got cut out of the video of my process. So this, I think, caught, so that showed how I made this little watercolor. This was a quote from Butterflies Rising. I just found it on Pinterest, and I thought it was a really perfect one to be paired here with my birth chart. So this is my astrological birth chart of, you know, showing where each of these planets were in the sky when I was born, and still need to learn a lot more about it, but I'm excited to dive into it a little more. Right now, all I really know about is the sun, moon, and rising signs. So for me, sun is in Aries, moon is in Scorpio, and my ascendant or my rising sign is in Leo, and each of those kind of has their own thing, and that's a whole new video. I don't think I really have the qualifications to be teaching about that. But so yeah, that's there. I just thought it's also the really cool visual. It's really beautiful, so I wanted to include that in my journal pink moon, here we are. So March 24th, that's today, the day I'm recording this. Hopefully I can upload it today as well. April 21st is the last day of this pink moon cycle. So the pink moon is the full moon this month, this lunar cycle starting today. The new moon in Aries, March 24th, is a Tuesday. Hold on. Oh, I have one more day. Well, I'm mistaken with this, all this quarantine stuff. I've kind of like mixed up all my days. Well, that's good to know. I have some extra time to do all this. So tomorrow is the new moon, and then we've got first quarter in Cancer on April 1st, Wednesday, full moon in Libra, April 7th, that's a Tuesday, and my last quarter, third quarter in Capricorn, April 14th, that's another Tuesday. So this page is all blank to make space for my yoga sequencing. So the way I've been trying to sequence my classes is on an overarching theme, or maybe an overall intention for this moon cycle, and I try and focus on maybe one general goal to focus on. So last month we did a lot of hip opening, as we were talking a lot about being grounded and connected, being there, connected into your roots. So a lot of root chakra, hip opening, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do yet this month. I have an idea. Let's see, so this is my new moon in Aries journaling spread. So this is specifically why I created this. I wanted to have a space to really get a little bit deeper into journaling, specifically to the moon phase and the star sign that it's going through. So we've got our new moon starting tomorrow. That's kind of symbolizing new beginnings, renewal, a good time for goal setting, and it's passing through Aries. That's my sun sign, but it kind of represents that they have this high energy and really enjoy getting those new beginnings and fresh starts. So it's a good kind of pairing here, and they're very have this enthusiastic energy. They're also a fire sign, so that's again tying into that spontaneous, active, and quick energy. So one thing that I might need to be careful of, anybody might need to be careful of during this time, is it's still a new moon. It's still beginning, it's still kind of more of a time to keep your energy a little bit lower, to really reflect still on just meditating on what these new starts are going to be. So it might be easy to let this kind of fire energy get you super hyped up and get you pushing to move forward, but I encourage you, especially now during this time when we're all kind of dealing with this pandemic of the coronavirus and the COVID-19, all that stuff, we're home, and this is now the time to really focus in on this, to reflect, what are my goals for this cycle? This is my space to kind of journal about that, maybe bullet points, but I'm also hoping to use this as a little bit more of like that brain dump. What is going on in my head? Self-care and check-in. This is my time to remind myself, this is a specific thing I can do for myself during this new moon time, during this whole week especially. My intention, so I'll write out my overarching intention for the whole month. My affirmation, I am blank, something I can say to myself throughout the week, throughout even the whole month. And I'll have a little bit more space to journal, to unpack these things. And I included my playlist. I already wrote it in down here, so because I already knew that this is the one I wanted to use for this week. So this is specifically just for teaching, but it can go, you can play it while you're writing. I'm probably going to play this while I'm writing in my journal as well, but this is a playlist I made a while ago. It's called Moon Slow Flow on my Spotify. So you can find me Keila Gaballo, Gaballo. And you'll see this playlist. All my playlists are public, so you can use any of those for your yoga practice, your journaling time. And so yeah, I'll go over these as we get to these moons, but you can see it here. I have a page for every every major moon phase, and then we get into the daily. So this is like that weekly spread that you typically see in regular bullet journals, but so this is just my space. So you can, there's 8 here, but this is because this is the time between the new moon and the day before the first quarter moon. So this is that time they all kind of have that same overarching energy. With each day I wrote the date, the moon phase, what it kind of looks like in the sky, the sign is going through, so Aries, and the element. So I do that throughout for every day of this moon cycle. So here is between first quarter and before the full moon, not as many days, but they all have that kind of same chunk of energy. And here between April 7th, April 13th, before the last quarter, and got each space for those daily little journaling things, or again those lists of things I need to do. And then April 14th to the 21st, that's the last quarter, all the way up to the day before the next new moon. So this is all space there to do that. So again, this is just my first time through. I'm not sure how I will like this specific layout. It doesn't look like I have too much space between each day, but we'll see, and I'll adjust for the next one. So I've started to already sketch out what I'm going to do. The next moon is the flower moon, but I'll give you a little bit more on that when we get there. So yeah, that's my journal. It's what I'll be working in, doing a little more art, doing a little more journaling, and maybe helping me focus a little more on my actual yoga sequences. So thank you for checking out this video. Hopefully getting inspired to, if you already bullet journal, maybe you can add some of this into your own bullet journal, or maybe this can help you get some ideas to get started. And of course, this is just based on the lunar calendar, or the moon calendar, lunar cycle, but you can do this to like a regular calendar as well. I just decided not to do that because I already have a really great planner. Like I said, my passion planner, I love it so much. This is more of like a supplement for me to get into some scrapbooking, like with these photos, but also journaling a little more. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope it was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments below or on Instagram. You can find my account in the comments below. But yeah, let me know if there's anything that you would like to see, any ideas, any tips, things that you're interested in learning more about bullet journaling or moon journaling, any of that kind of stuff. And I'll try to include that in my next video or in a post on Instagram. So thank you again, and God bless.